like to make a couple of apologies. First of all, yes, I am wearing the same jumper that I wore in yesterday's video. No, this is not the same day, I just flippin' love this jumper. Secondly, I have woken up today. I say woken up, I didn't really sleep. I have started today with a horrendous cold. Like, my throat literally feels like it's closing up. My nose is like sniffing, so I apologise if there's sniffing or coughing throughout this. I'm going to try and edit out as much as possible, and I apologise for any subsequent videos in April Madness that are the same. You know, of course it would start an April Madness. When else would I get a horrendous cold and a sore throat? Hi guys, welcome back. So today is day 3 of April Madness, and today I am going to be doing a to prime or not to prime kind of a challenge video. So half of my face is going to have primer on, like the lids, the face, all of that. The other half of my face is not going to have any kind of primer, and then the rest of my makeup will be exactly the same. We will see kind of like the difference in terms of application, the difference in terms of wear time throughout the day, and we will kind of see whether or not it's worth wearing primer. My hypothesis so far, it is, because in my experience when I don't wear primer, that's when shit happens on my face. But yes, that's what we're going to be doing today. Give this a big thumbs up if you like these kind of like weird challenge type things. I don't know why I thought to do this. This is one of like questions I get asked from my friends a lot, is like, what is a primer? Why do you need a primer? So that is why I'm doing this basically. But yeah, give it a thumbs up if you like it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for new videos every day, Monday to Friday, for the rest of April, even with this right now. And I'll be doing a giveaway at the very end of April to say thank you for all of my followers. And yeah, without further ado, let's try and turn this really kind of tired, grotty, ill-looking face into something that resembles a human being. I'm not going to start with the eyes because I'm not going to do anything too crazy with the eyes because I feel like shit. So we're going to start with the face, and I am going to use basically the last dregs of my Clarins SOS primer. It's my favourite primer. I just love it, and I wanted to use it for today's video because I felt like it would be, oh, sorry, so satisfying. I just felt like it would be the best one to use because I love it. I know how it performs. So yeah, this side of my face is going to be prime free. This side of my face is going to be primed. So we're just going to take a little squidge of that just on my hands. I vary how I apply primer. Sometimes I apply it with my hands, sometimes I apply it with a dense brush. It honestly just depends on the kind of mood I'm in. Hoping you'll be able to see like just a normal difference without like any base or something with this primer anyway. Like, I mean, I can see it. I mean, to me, you can kind of see on the nose that like this side is still kind of has like some redness. My pores are definitely less noticeable on this side, and just the tone of my face is a lot more uniform. It just looks a little bit healthier than this side of my face already, and that's just the primer. So we're going to put the rest of my base makeup on. We'll see kind of how the difference in terms of how it's applied. I'm going to use the same brushes, sponges, whatever on both sides of my face so that it makes it a very kind of equal challenge. You can watch, you lucky things you. The base I'm using is just my L'Oreal Infallible Glow. I know how this performs, so I feel like this is a fair test. If I just put foundation on my eyelid, I never do that. What is wrong with me today? Now you can really see a difference. Okay, now let's put this on the side with no primer. I used roughly the same amount on each side, but I need a little bit more for my non-primed side. I mean, I can't see a huge amount of difference. I mean, that foundation's just amazing anyway. But I will say it hasn't applied as well around my nose area here. And I feel like there's not as much coverage here. I feel like I can still see some red poking through on this side, which I can't on that side. which obviously might be because that particular Clarins primer evens out the skin tones, so the foundation is having to work a little bit harder to give the same kind of amount of coverage, I guess, which might be why I had to use more on this side. But otherwise, like, the finish looks very similar. Okay, so going into concealer, so I'm going to put concealer on this lid but not on that lid. This is just what I usually do. I don't use an eyeshadow primer because I don't feel like I need to. Concealer does the same thing. I've not just done that. Oh, Lisa, no. That's just like so annoying. Okay. Remove the concealer from my lid now. Let's just have it go through there. Now there is no concealer on that lid. That lid, again, it just like the tone is evened out. It looks a little bit brighter. I mean, I don't tend to put primer on my eyes anyway, so there's not going to be too much difference on that. But there we go. So yeah, we'll just do the rest of like the cream products on my face, which at this point is now just cream highlight. And then we'll set everything down and see how that looks. I do feel like this side of my face looks just a touch more flawless than this side. There isn't actually a huge amount of difference on the base front right now. I'm not literally feeling like, my cream highlight is a little bit patchy on this side, whereas this side it's not. This side is a touch patchy, but otherwise, and yeah, it's a little bit patchy around my nose, but otherwise it's not too different actually. So something that I wasn't expecting, and I don't know if it's like picking up on camera, but I feel like anything I'm putting on like bronze and blush on the side of the face with the primer is showing up so much more. Like it's kind of like, it's just kind of like when you're supposed to use an eyeshadow primer, it just makes the colours pop a little bit more. I just feel like that's what it's doing on this side. Okay, so we're going to move on to eyes. I'm just going to use the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded palette. I'm not going to do anything super crazy, mainly because I feel so ill, so I don't really want to do anything super crazy. But one of my lids has been primed. It does have a concealer on top. The other lid is completely bare. So we are going to see like if there's obviously a benefit to priming your lids as well. Again, just from experience, there is, but we're going to be fair. First and foremost, this is not blending as well as it did on the other side. Like the colour's there, but I just feel like it's not blending as well. So yeah, we are going dark and smoky today. That was not the plan, but it somehow happened. Yeah, this side is just not blending as easily and as nicely, and this is usually my good eye. Like this side for some reason always looks better than that eye. I don't know why. No idea why, but it does. The metallic finish is definitely not as strong on this side. It's still there, again, because it's a good palette, but I wouldn't say it's as like boom in your face as on this side. Personally, I don't think so. Okay, let's just finish up under the eyes and add some mascara, and then and then for the lips I'm going to use something from my box of things I haven't tried for a while, because why not? Let's go for this. This is from Revlon. This is Trendsetter. Okay, that colour is kind of gorgeous. Was not expecting that. Okay, so we are done. Let's have a look. To be honest, on the face side of things, there's not a huge amount of difference. I did notice just around the nose area here, it was a little bit easier to apply here. And also I feel like I had to use a little bit more foundation on this side because the Clarins primer had already evened out a lot of my skin tone and that redness, so I just had to use, the foundation just had to work a little bit harder on this side of my face. The texture of my skin still looks very similar. I would just say this is a little bit more airbrushed, and I would say you can see a lot more of texture on this side of my nose than this side. But otherwise, that's not bad. And I think as I was applying, I noticed that things like my bronzer and my blush, they were a little bit more pigmented on this side than that side, but that's what it is. Eye-wise, obviously I used a concealer, I didn't use a proper primer, but that's what I used to conceal my eyes, and it was easier to blend on this eye. Colours were a little bit more pigmented, that metallic shade was a lot more metallic. It was just easier to use, it was just easier to work on this side for me. So there is that. But we're going to see how this lasts throughout the day now and see if there is a difference in terms of staying power, how things rub off, how things wear off, how things look by the end of the day, and I will keep you informed. So yeah, thank you very much for joining, and I will speak to you again in a little bit. This is really good lighting and angle for makeup, but not if you, because you want to see what's going on. It's lunchtime now, so it's been about 3 hours since applying. Nothing too much is happening. I did blow my nose earlier because I have a cold, and it was weird because when like the tissue came away, the tissue that was on this side had foundation on, but the tissue on this side didn't have anything on. That was kind of weird, but otherwise, like, I'm not noticing huge amount of difference so far, so we will see. Okay, so it's around about 2ish, so I thought I would do an update. My camera is so dirty on here. Let's clean you a little bit. Can you see me a bit better now? So face makeup wise, it's kind of coming off a little bit around my nose here where it's not on this side, but other than that it's not too bad, and I think it's because I blew my nose more than anything, so there's that. The only other thing I would say is on my lids, the metallic shade is kind of flaking off more than like this side. It's still there, that side it's just kind of coming off a little bit, which is the non-prime side, so it's not looking too different so far, which is quite good. The other thing with the lips, so this is the Revlon Colour Stay lip. The colour is gorgeous and I love it, but it's so, alright, look at that, so sticky. And I mean, this has been on for a good few hours now, and I've drunk and everything, and it, you know, it lasted through drinking and eating and everything, but it's just so sticky. Though I'm probably going to throw that and the other shade of the same form I have away, just because I can't deal with that stickiness. It's driving me mad, so yeah. Okay, so we are coming up to 10 o'clock. There's now definitely some differences, especially with the eye makeup. This eye, which I didn't prime in any way, makeup is pretty much all gone. You can see like a little bit of something going on there, I don't know what. And like the darker shade is obviously a lot lighter than on this side, and the metallic shade is also stayed on a lot better on this side than that side. This side where I have no primer versus this side, I mean, you can still see that like highlight is still going strong there. It's not really there anymore on this side. It's not really there on the side of my nose. My battery is running out. It's not really here anymore either. So honestly, the side that hasn't been primed didn't last as long, which is kind of what I was thinking anyway, but it just kind of goes to show that putting a primer on, it is worth doing. It is an extra step, but it makes applying your makeup a lot easier, as I found, especially priming eyes. You can see the difference with the eyes today, like especially by the end of the day this one has lasted so much better. And then just kind of like making sure, I just felt like I had to use more product on this side of my face to kind of get the coverage that I wanted and everything. So overall, primer side wins over no primer side. And that is everything. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Again, don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button, and I will see you all again tomorrow.